It's Thursday, the 16th of November, 2023. Welcome to the Fast 5 Business News by Fear and Greed, where we give you the top 5 business stories you need to know in just 5 minutes. I'm Michael Thompson, and good morning, Sean Aylmer.
Good morning, Michael.
Sean, 5 stories in 5 minutes. Let's get going. Story number 1 is a big one. Wages increased at their fastest pace on record in the 3 months to September as aged care employees and low-paid workers received large one-off pay rises.
Now, that's not necessarily bad news for inflation, though, because economists say the data is probably the high point for wages growth, which is expected to moderate as the job market softens in response to all those interest rate hikes we've had. Annual wages growth hit 4% in the September quarter, according to the Bureau of Statistics, after pay packets grew at a record quarterly pace of 1.3%. The figures were in line with expectations and the Reserve Bank's most recent forecast. They include the Fair Work Commission's decision to award a 5.75% increase in award wages on July 1. That was the largest since 2009, and a one-off 15% increase in pay for 250,000 aged care workers.
Yeah, that is a big hike for aged care workers. Where were the biggest wage rises?
Well, in those areas where there are lower paid workers, so accommodation, food services, social assistance, healthcare beyond aged care. There was also decent rises in arts and recreation, manufacturing and retail. Financial services, not known as the laggards of the pay world, well, they got the smallest increase. Almost 50% of private sector employees received pay rises in the 3 months to September. Workers who got a pay rise got an average 5.8% increase, the highest rate since at least 2010. Public sector wages growth is accelerating after a long period of underperformance, increasing 3.5% over the 12 months to September. A chunk of that is a result of the removal of state government salary caps and new enterprise agreements coming into effect. The bottom line here, wages grew quickly, but probably not too quickly to worry about interest rate hikes.
Okay, moving on to story number 2, Sean, and something pretty glamorous really for us today. We don't talk a huge amount about the diamond market, but you've been keeping a pretty close eye on it.
I've been keeping a sharp eye on it, Michael. Now, prices have been tumbling since the end of COVID. Prices of uncut gems are down about 35%. Very closely held market. South Africa's De Beers is a dominant player. Normally, buyers take what De Beers offers, but consumer demand has been falling sharply, and all these buyers are left with inventories. Diamonds were everyone's best friend during the pandemic, not so much now. Another major player, Russia's Alrosa, has cancelled sales for 2 months. The Indian market has a self-imposed halt on imports. The US is the biggest market for diamonds. That economy is slowing. The Chinese property slump isn't helping. To make things worse, lab-grown diamonds are starting to make major gains in a couple of key segments, particularly millennials. According to Bloomberg, at a recent De Beers sale, the total amount of uncut gems sold was less than 20% of normal levels. Sales at luxury giant LVMH have been disappointing as well. Very tough times for the diamond market.
Yeah, it seems that way. Story number 3. This is a remarkable story, this one, Sean. There is more trouble for PwC globally. A massive leak of documents has exposed how the accounting giant's Cyprus arm scrambled to help Russian oligarchs facing the threat of sanctions back in March last year move assets out of their names in the first few days of the Ukraine invasion.
The leaks show frantic email exchanges marked urgent and please approve as PwC's Cyprus partners authorised transfers of shares and funds, in one case even before the price of the transaction was known. The Cyprus Ministry of Finance told the International Consortium of Investigative Journalists that a criminal investigation is underway into share transfers by Alexei Mordashov, one of Russia's richest industrialists. The transfers, which were assisted by PwC Cyprus, moved $1.4 billion out of his name a day after he was slapped with European Union sanctions. The revelations are a new embarrassment for PwC, which cut links with its Russian arm last year. The firm has repeatedly stressed its zero-tolerance policy for clients facing sanctions anywhere in the world. We're going to hear a lot about this one.
Yeah, we certainly will. Story number 4. Good news, Sean. The Cadillac is heading to Australia and it's going to be sold here for the first time ever from next year.
And the twist in the tale is that the Caddies will be electric vehicles. General Motors has sold in Australia for 122 years. Chevys, Pontiacs, Holdens, obviously, never Caddies. Globally, all Cadillacs will be fully electric by the end of the decade, though the company says they'll maintain their iconic American design. They are General Motors' luxury car brand. They'll compete with Tesla, BMW, Mercedes, etc. First car available will be an upmarket SUV called the Lyriq, Lyriq. It's slightly bigger than the BMW X5. And no, Michael, no idea how much they're going to cost.
Oh, but I will be very keen to find out at some point, Sean. Story number 5. Companies that allow remote work have experienced revenue growth that is 4 times faster than those that are more stringent about office attendance. This is quite significant.
Yes, the analysis of 554 public companies that employ collectively 26.7 million people found that fully flexible firms, which are either completely remote or allow employees to choose when they come into the office, increased sales 21%. Those who were hybrid or fully on-site increased sales 5%. That's between 2020 and 2022. The study was done by Scoop Technologies and Boston Consulting Group. It included companies from all sorts of sectors, technology, insurance, etc. Now, among the companies that did require at least some office attendance, those that came in a few days boosted sales at twice the rate of those in the office full time. The better growth rates for more remote-friendly companies could be due to their ability to hire better. They can hire faster from a wider geographic area, along with higher employee retention.
Good story. There we go. The top 5 business stories in 5 minutes. Thank you, Sean.
Thank you, Michael.
It is Thursday, the 16th of November, 2023. Remember to hit follow on the podcast. And if 5 minutes isn't enough, you can find our longer daily show called Fear and Greed Business News, wherever you listen to podcasts. I'm Michael Thompson, and that was the Fast 5 Business News by Fear and Greed. Have a great day.